Baik, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Berkenaan dengan sambutan Hari Profession Teknikal Negara 2021, saya Muhammad Arkam bin Cik Munaim hari ini ingin berkongsikan tentang satu tajuk yang berkaitan dengan CIDB Assessment Methods for Construction Personnel in Project Supervision and Management Program. Berkenaan dengan HPTN 2021, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada pihak penganjur dan juga sekretariat yang telah menjemput saya untuk program perkongsian pada hari ini berkenaan dengan HPTN 2021. Jadi berkenaan dengan tajuk ini, insyaAllah kita akan ambil masa lebih kurang 1.5 jam untuk menerangkan tentang proses ataupun CIDB Assessment Methods for Program Supervision and Management Program di CIDB Malaysia. A little bit about CIDB, a little bit about CIDB, an overview of CIDB Malaysia. It's actually an agency under the Ministry of Works, Kementerian Kerja Raya KKR, besides others agencies which are also JKR, MHA, Malaysian Highway Authority, Board of Engineers, Board of Architects, and as well as the Board of QS. CIDB is one of the agencies, especially on the construction sectors lah. So yang ini, this is the function of CIDB. Was established under the Construction Industry Development Board Act 1994 Act 520 Amendment 2011 to regulate, develop, and facilitate the construction industry towards achieving global competitiveness. So this is as an introduction of CIDB Malaysia. With these three mission, vision, and objective of CIDB to regulate, develop, and facilitate the construction industry by inculcating professionalism in delivering quality, productive, and sustainable built environment. The vision is to be an esteemed organization delivers construction excellence in Malaysia. So the construction is excellence is the main words here. Objective to develop the capacity and capability of the construction industry through the enhancement of quality and productivity by placing great emphasis on professionalism in the endeavor to improve the quality of life. So as an introduction to all participants today, besides 14 functions of CIDB, I have actually circled the most important thing that related to our talk today, which is this number 9, to provide, promote, review, and coordinate the training. And number 11 there is to register certified accredited construction personnel. So one or two of the main important functions of CIDB according to the Act. And we are actually here to know more about the process and also the accreditation process. Besides other 14, you can see here the first one to promote and stimulate the development, improvement, and expansion of the construction industries. And the end is actually to attend to any complaint on report made on relation with the failure of construction work completed one. So we got item 9 or functions number 9 and number 11 as part of our commitment today on this talk. And the amended element from this Construction Act 520 on the contractors registration, accreditation, and enforcement structure safely during the post-construction phase. Construction personnel is on the registration, certification, accreditation of construction personnel, and also construction materials. And we look into these three important stakeholders or important players in the construction industry, which are the contractors, the personnel, as well as the materials. So we have this in the law, so that CIDB can have a focus on looking into how it's actually the construction industry will be taken care by these three elements, important elements lah, to take care of the contractors and their as well as the performance, to take care on the construction personnel as their accreditation, registration, certifications, or take care of the material to regulate the enforcement of standards, especially from Schedule 4 from the Act 520. Important snapshots from the Act. So as start, we should look into the meaning of construction works according to the Act, because we need to specify, or we need to deliberate the wording or the sentence very well. So in the Act, according to the Act, the construction works means the constructions, extension, installation, repair, maintain, renew, remove, renovate, alter, dismantle, or demolition. So demolish also considered as a construction works according to the Act of any building, any erection, any edifice, any structure, any wall, fence, chimney, whether constructed wholly or partly above or below ground level. So whatever that we construct fully or partly below or below or above ground level, we consider as a construction work. Any road, harbor works, railway, cableway, canal, or aerodrome, any drainage, irrigation, or river control works, electrical, mechanical, water, gas, petrochemical, telecommunication works, or any bridge, viaduct, dam, reservoir, earthwork, pipeline, sewer, aqueducts, a culvert, drive, shaft, tunnel, or reclamation work, and also includes other things, which are any works from which an important and integral part of the preparatory for the temporary works, as described in paragraph A to E before. A to E before, whatever work that temporarily required to be conducted to complete this above A to E work is considered as a construction as well. This includes site clearance, soil investigations and improvement, earth moving, excavation, laying for foundation, and also restoration, and as well as a landscaping or procurement. So continue from the first A to E, now A and or B. Procurement of construction material is also part of the construction works. Equipments or workers, the appointment of the workers, all those registration of workers is part of the construction works. Necessarily required for any work described in A to E before. So these two pages is actually explain or describe about the construction work from A to E here, as well as the A and B or A or B here. So either you go for partly construction, temporary work, or site clearance, laying foundation, geotech, all those site restoration, landscape is also considered as a construction work or construction activities. And of course, as a procurement of the material that are related to the construction materials, equipment or workers as well, necessarily required for any work described in paragraph A to E. So these are the meaning of the construction works according to the Act. So we need to understand this very well, because some of us sometimes they don't aware that this is actually a construction work. So I don't do any new construction. I just do renovation, for example. Renovation also the construction work. I don't do any construction. I just do the dismantling work. Dismantle also construction work. I don't do maintenance. I'm actually maintenance man. I'm do FM, not construction. FM also considered as a construction work. Maintenance is stated over here. Either you go for repair, install, or maintain. Is also considered as a construction activities or construction works. So that is why in construction or in CIDB program, you can see two main infrastructure being prepared for construction personnel as well as the FM personnel. I will show you later in this slide. Also, we will keep inform you about that programs. So construction works means all those. So hopefully this thing can be now been understood by everyone, that considering construction work is not only just the way that we think from the definition of the construction activities or construction works according to the Act is different. So we need to take care and to understand all those. Okay. Then we go for construction personnel. What is actually construction personnel? From the Act also, the construction personnel definition from the Act is a general construction workers. We can see them on site. Semi-skilled construction workers or skilled construction workers considered as construction personnel. Construction site supervisors, of course, who are actually supervising the works from on behalf of the contractors, and their superior, which is the construction project managers, as well any other employee in the construction industry as may determined by the board. Yeah. So we have another, which is construction project manager, means any employee possessing the accepted level of skill, knowledge, and experience as may be determined, and who is assigned to the construction at site or any other such place to organize, plan, control, and coordinate the construction work from the inception to completion. So the people or the person who looking into the inception until the completion of project, who manage the project, become a construction manager or project manager, considered as a construction project manager according to the Act. And also we have also another one definition that important for construction personnel, which is a construction site supervisor, means any employee possessing the accepted level of skill, knowledge, and experience who is assigned to construction site or any other such place to supervise the construction work. So people who are supervising the construction activities or construction works is considered as a construction site supervisor according to the Act. So we, if we do the supervision work on site without registering with the CIDB, that is actually contravened with according to the Act. So we will look into that definition later. So now, what we want to say is actually the construction personnel consists of general construction workers, semi-skilled, super skilled or super skills, construction supervisors, project managers, and other employees, including the construction project manager as well as construction site supervisor. So we can see clearly now a definition of the people who are actually working on site, delivering his work as a project people or construction personnel according to the Act. So we look into these terms now. The accreditation. What is the meaning by accreditation? A procedure by which the lembaga, I mean in this case is CIDB, or any person authorized by it gives a formal recognition that a body or person is competent to carry out a specific task relating to the construction industry. So this is the meaning of the accreditation, means a procedure where you have been assessed by the lembaga and being authorized, then recognized by the board as a competent person to carry out that task, that work. So relating to the construction industry. So there is a lot of construction, activities on site. So basically, we can see it in this presentation later. Then certification means a procedure by which the lembaga or any person authorized by it given written assurance that a process, practice, or service confirm with a specified requirement. So certification means that procedure, the lembaga or any person authorized but it gives a written assurance that the process, practice, or service conform to the specified requirement. So accordingly, certified material, for example, or certified personnel. In this case, we get certified construction project manager, certified construction manager, certified construction site supervisor, certified construction traffic management officer, certified facility management officer, certified facility management executive, and as well as a manager. So there is actually the names of the program that's under this accreditation and certification for personnel. But they also certification goes to the material according to the table 4 or schedule 4 from the Act. Means that the material also been regulated under the Act as well. Some important construction materials. Okay, now we look into this from this snapshot of the Acts. Accreditation and certification of construction site supervisor and skilled construction worker. No construction site supervisor or skilled construction worker shall be involved or engaged or undertake to be involved or engaged as a construction site supervisor or skilled construction worker unless he is accredited and certified by the lembaga and holds a very valid certificate issued by the lembaga under the Acts. So for the purpose of this, the skilled construction workers are those specified in the third schedule. There will be one type of people who been specified under the third schedule. We will show the third schedule later. The minister may by order published in the Gazette amend the third schedule. Okay, they will be not our business today. The lembaga shall keep and maintain the register which shall contain the name, address, trades, skill, and other particulars of accredited and certified construction supervisors and skilled construction workers. So lembaga actually having that register to maintain, keep and maintain a register which shall contain the name, address, and blah blah blah. So that will be mentioned also in the Acts. A person who contravenes subsection 1 above 33A1 will be guilty of an offence shall be convicted, be liable for fine not exceeding 5,000 ringgit. So that will be the penalty for the construction personnel who contravenes with this subsection 333A subtraction 1. Or subsection 1. Any person who engages a construction site supervisor or skilled construction worker who is not accredited and certified by the Lembaga carry out any construction work shall be guilty for an offence and shall, on conviction, be liable to fine another 5,000 ringgit for the company. So got two things here. The first penalty or the first fine will goes to the people who are actually claiming they are doing the construction activities according to the acts. I mean, they're supervising the work. No construction site supervisor or skilled construction worker shall be involved in this. No construction site supervisor. So we, as a construction site supervisor, cannot claim that we are the construction site supervisor if we are not being registered under the act. Through the certification by the act. So that is the meaning. So we can do other job but not supervising, as mentioned in the acts. But we need to also to register from the other door. For example, we need to register as a green card holder. So that also a part of registration process will involve other site personnel. But for site supervisor, it's more focused or more specific to the people who are actually manage or supervise the project according to the act, the definition from the act. So the first ones will go to the person who are actually claiming that he is actually doing the supervision work. The second fine will go straight to the employer, for people who engage that construction site supervisor or skilled construction workers according to third schedule of the act. So we understand now. So by um declare or claiming ourselves as a site supervisor, we need to be registered, accredited, certified by the board. Then only we can conduct our task as a construction site supervisor. Or else you become somebody else. I mean, the job scope is not for you. Even though you need to go, don't have to. Cannot claim as a supervisor. You can be someone else and go into the line of registering through the Cidb green card. But this is different. This is something else beyond that, beyond the Cidb green card. So now, once we understand that there is actually some definition of construction works or construction activities, definition of construction workers or construction personnel, definitions of site supervisor, definition of construction project manager, definition of skilled workers. Now we understand that in construction we have some arrangement or hierarchy on the standard construction team. So who is actually the standard construction team here? Definitely, we can say about these three main important agencies or stakeholders from the client side, from the consultant side, as well as the contractor side. So these three C's, client, consultant, contractor, is the minimum understood fairly, the extremely understood by our construction personnel. So who are the client? Client who will prepare the statement of the project. They will prepare what do they need, how do they need, and what are the feasibility studies that that have been conducted as a client to start off the project. So they will determine, they will identify, they will describe their needs. So the needs from the client will be picked up by our consultant to do their design and also coordination works and specify the scope of work as well as the specification of works. So based on the needs, the consultant will pick that thing up and also do the design coordination, scope of work, as well as to specify it based on the needs as well as the financial budget of the project. So once we have budget, we have the needs, then we can do something. I'm also as a consultant, so we look into what is your needs, how much your budget. So from that too, we can come out with this design and coordination. We do the scope of work as well as the specification. That specification sometimes relate to the budget. The more budget you have, you prepared, the higher spec that you can get. So basically, there is a rule of thumb of having the good financial to have a good spec of product. That's one way of it. Of course, they got many other ways as well. Then the client should facilitate the construction works. So they should involve with the liaison as well if they want. Should involve means not to participate on the ground because they will be conducted by the consultant, but to mention that I am the client, so this is the letter that I issue to my consultant. They will do their work on behalf of me as a client. So that kind of facilitation. Other facilitation, they might facilitate with some or other people who can brief them, who can advise on the construction needs based on the client's expectation. That also part of the facilitation. And from there, the consultant will do the specification as well as the pricing control. When we have that, the information, then we manage the progress of site. We do the simulation and forecasting. We simulate the load, for example, we simulate the engineering design, we simulate, we forecast the activities, we forecast the delivery, we also forecast the commercial. In this case, we also focus on the claiming. And then the most important part to me as a consultant is to ensure the compliance. So consultant basically works to ensure the compliance. We need to put here a liaison with the authorities, also part of the important activities of the consultant. And that will be to in order for us to prepare the documentation of project or construction project that meet to everyone. So ensuring compliance is the important part of becoming the consultant. You need to comply for bomba, you need to comply for local authorities, you need to comply for the service provider, you need to comply for the client requirements, you need to comply for the acts, you need to comply for regulations, you need to comply for standards, you need to comply for handbook, you need to comply for guide of good practice, all those regarding compliance. So ensuring compliance is the important part of becoming the consultant, in my opinion. So the client letter will become the owner, or they might not become the owner. They work on behalf of the owners behind them. So they are sometimes, if the conventional project, we have JKR doing the project management works on behalf of the other kementerian or other ministry or other agencies. So JKR will become the client. We have owner behind them. So owners later on will become the final or end user. So that end user is actually not from the client or not from the JKR, they're coming from another agency. So they will be well understood. Meanwhile, on the contractor side, we can see here, contractor should deal with the contract or subcontract, and they are dealing with the staff, workers, and also laborers, because this is part of their activities, main activities, to work with the staff, to work with the workers, laborers of the project, ensuring on the materials, so suppliers are sufficient, ensuring the materials are provided according to the specifications, and then supplier to ensure the supply will be continuous. There's a continuity of the supply along the project, along the delivery of the project, along the construction of the project. So another things that need to be considered by the contractor, as well, to ensure the machineries and tools are up to date, are there, everything is in the work. Permit is also all there, as well, to make sure the machine is all workable. And also the operator of the machine also need to be part of the staff, workers, labor control from the sub workers through the contractor's scope of works, and manage the resources. So meaning to say that contractor will definitely manage on these 4 M's minimum: material, money, manpower, as machineries, so that the project will be conducted as long means controlled by the consultant from the other side through the tracking system. But the contractor need to ensure the project will be delivered accordingly to the contract, as well as the timeline manners. Then they will do the planning and scheduling, because they need to plan everything that happen on site and do the scheduling works, do the delivery, keep the material on site, do the claim, and blah blah blah. And also the main task is to build and deliver according to the document have been prepared by the consultant with the input given by the clients. So basically, the standard base fundamental setup of typical construction team lineup. We can show it in this slide. So from now, basically, actually what is the consultant scope of work, what is the contractor scope of work, what are the client expectation scope of work that we need to understand before we go for their personnel. So how it goes now from here, education level. If you can see here from this table, scope, I just copy the scope before, from the consultant, been governed by the Board of Engineers Malaysia, other board as well, Board of QS as well as the Board of Architect. They will do the design, coordination, scope of work, specification, pricing control, manage progress, estimation, forecasting, ensuring the compliance I've mentioned before from the previous slide. And the scope of contractors will go for the subcontracts, staff workers level, materials, suppliers, machinery, tools, manage resources, planning schedule, and build and deliver. There will be another scope of work coming from the contractor. So they got two scope of works coming in together to be inclined with the same. I mean, not inclined to be to be on site, so that the work can be monitored and progressively attained, by these two main important character from the side beside the consultant, the clients. So in our system, the engineering diploma, if you get the engineering diploma from the, for example, Dublin Accord, EAC, Engineering Accreditation Council or Engineering Accreditation Department of Board of Engineers. So basically, they are on the inspectorate scope of work. They inspect the work done. So from this point of view, the engineering diploma that work with a consultant will look into the compliance thing. So that compliance thing need to be trained as well. Need to be trained. How they know this is compliant? How they know this is not compliant? How they know this is standard one? This is non-standard one. So basically comes through an experience as well on how for them to understand the scope of works, how to measure the compliance that been constructed, how to evaluate the materials being proposed by the consultant, sorry, proposed by the contractor, for example. So inspector of works, as what it been named as an inspector, basically the work to inspect the work. Inspect the work for what? To ensure the compliance. Compliance on what? Compliance on all materials, brand, for example, if you have been put the brand name as a proposed approved product, or the methods of installation, or the testing. So become a witness of the testing. Now they know that this is comply because they know the specification that required them to monitor. So the engineering diploma from the consultant point of view, actually we are dealing with this inspector of work to inspect the work throughout the process of the construction activities. Meanwhile, the same engineering diploma, or maybe engineering technology diploma, or maybe you can say other kind of diploma as well, which is related to the construction activities, they will go for another scope of work being certified by CIDB. The first one being certified by the Board of Engineers, or being registered through the Board of Engineers as a registered person of the Board of Engineers. So on this side, I mean on the right hand side is actually on the certified side as well, CSS. I'm starting to 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 tell you, or to simplify the terms now. The nomenclatures of the programs. Now we have certified site supervisor, CSS, and also certified traffic management officer, or construction traffic management officer, CTMO. So we have one from the Board of Engineers, another one from the CIDB, Construction Industry Development Board. You can see here two boards over here, Board of Engineers and also CID boards, CID boards as well, board as well. So two boards here. The first one look into the inspectorate work, inspect the work, make sure comply. Another one to supervise the work, construction activities, make sure everything is towards compliance, because there's another person will check into the compliance later. So certified site supervisor and CTMO is part of them. So they can come from the engineering diploma level, then become the CSS or CTMO. Next level, which is the engineering degree or engineering technology degree, or even maybe technology degree related to the construction. they can become the resident engineer if they are engineering degree holders. They can become the resident technologists if they are engineering technologies holders, or they can become a resident, project manager, executive, project executive if they are actually coming from engineering degree, a non-engineering degree. So they are expected to register at the board of engineers as a graduate engineer first to enable them to be appointed as a resident engineer of the site. Later on, they will become the professional engineers if they are past the assessment, PAE or PI. So there is one angle or one area that through the consultant scope of work or through the consultant view as a consultant that you are starting to inspect the product delivered by the contractors. On other side, on the contractor side, we can see either they are coming from engineering degree or non-engineering degree is no problem because they can develop the skills through the experience of working on site, and they are actually the CCM, Certified Construction Manager, or CCPM, Certified Construction Project Manager. So either they become the project engineer on behalf of the contractor, or site engineer also behalf of the contractor. So that is the arrangement. We can see now the arrangement is built up. We arrange for the inspector side. These are the scope of your inspectorate works. From the supervision side, this is the scope of your project management work. So we get two managers in the different cluster here from the consultant as well as the contractor. So now when they climb up, after some time, sometime, they can become the project manager of the consultant. And on the contractor side, they can become a project manager as well as the construction manager if they are still working on site. After getting the experience, they still choose to be on site. So they got very vast experience. So the experience can be assessed through the CCM program, which is Certified Construction Manager. CCPM, Certified Construction Project Manager. CCM, Construction Manager, CCM. And the project director, of course, we want them to become or to be a CCPM, Certified Construction Project Manager. And project director over here, of course, it should be, if you want to put here, we can put an additional, let's say here, PEPC, for example. Huh? So from PEPC or the Board of Engineers, is actually we can map them into the PEPC. Okay. Here also. Okay, let's do this. Okay. So PEPC and then become PEPC lah. If they are still in the construction line for this mechanical, electrical, civil engineers, so they can become the PEPC later. So this is the arrangement. If you understand this, I'm quite sure you will know what is actually the things that we are now proposing. Actually, in this talk, we want to know what is the function of these two. Okay. Okay, I just repeat the previous two slides on the design coordination works from the consultant scopes, and then contractor will be on the contract built to deliver, consultant on the ensuring the compliance. There's actually the lapping scope of knowledge between these two. We understand how the contractors works, and contractor also understand how do the engineers work, the consultant work. So basically, we work on the same project, we work on the same setup, even though our function is different, but the job goal is the same. We both want to complete the work. We both want to hand over the project successfully. We both want to have a good remark from that kind of project that we have completed. So we have the lapping scope and knowledge between these two, consultant and so as a contractor. From the consultant side, we know that we have the BEM, we have IOW over there, we have graduate engineer, we have professional engineer, we have also PEPC, professional engineer with a practice certificate. Other than board of engineers, it's actually the IOW for architect, landscape architect, professional architect, registered QS, and so town planner is a part of the consultant through this typical construction team lineup. Contractor. Now we start to have more serious on the naming, because after this 20 minutes, actually we want to make you understand fundamentally what is the considered construction here. They has got certified construction supervisor, CSS, CTMO, CCM, CCPM, FMM, and also FME. I'm starting to use the terms from now on. So we have two main sections or two main sectors here, which are construction and also the facilities management. Hmm? Two main sections. So now with these two, we can go it together. Now we understand they have job function which identical or very unique for both entities. How about the client over here? Client can of course can go for board engineers, can also go for construction. Basically, we can also exchange the cap. We can have a consultant. I'm also a CCPM of Cidb. So basically, we know what is actually the construction activities there. So we try to put in our scenario as a construction project manager, so that we get that certification or being certified by the board to acknowledge that our capability of managing a program or project through the CCPM program. Okay. Besides CIDB here, the naming of the program that I mentioned here, about 7 programs altogether that currently in place in CIDB. Here, I put all here. CIDB for construction, we have CSS, CTMO, we have CCM, we have CCPM. On the facility management, we have FMM as well as FME. Now, basically, can we see another, I mean, agencies? What do the other agencies do? For example, now we have DOSH, Department of Safety and Health. In DOSH, they have also their own competency programs. But there is a similarity and differences that I have put over there in the note below there. They have an authorized gas tester and 3 supervisor, hygiene technician 1 and 2, indoor air quality assessor, lift competent person. You can Google this actually from DOSH website. Major hazard competent person, noise competent person, occupational health doctor, responsible person, scaffolder, safety and health officer. Very frequently meet from our construction site. Safety site supervisor, of course, we will frequently meet them on site. Steam internal combustion engine engineer, also part of the DOSH competent person, one of them. So DOSH in this case have their own list of competent person been regulated under the Department of Safety and Health. On DOE, Department of Environmental. So basically, they have also their own competent person. We can see all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 8 altogether. CE, PIETSOBP, CHEPITSO, IET, Industrial Effluent Treatment. CE is actually the competent or certified industrial certified person, CEP, certified person, industrial effluent treatment, SO, O is operations. BP, biological process. So something that dealing with wastewater from industrial wastewater. IET, industrial effluent treatment. O is again operation. PCP, chemical process. Chemical process. So they got two processes in treat the wastewater from industrial. Either go for biological process or chemical process. So you got two competent person there related to the industrial wastewater. And then we can see here PBFO. PB is actually a CHEP competent person. BF is actually back filter or operation. CHEPSO, a competent person. S is actually for scrubber operation. CHEPSTPO, STPO, competent person. STP, sewage treatment plant or operation. So corporation, there is also a competent person from the DOE. CHEP, SWAM, competent person. S is actually a schedule waste A management. Management. Schedule waste, bahan-bahan buangan terjadual, schedule waste. CHEP, LTP, leachate treatment plant operation, competent person for leachate treatment plant operation. CHEP POM, or competent person for POM, palm oil mill effluent treatment operations. So we can see now DOE also having their own competent person regulated under their own act and trained and also assessed and also accredited and also maintain the registration by the board, the DOE under their own acts. Energy Commission, we have long history. We have guest competent person, AO, A4, BO, B4, PW2, PW4, electrical competent engineer, service engineer, as well as the registered electrical energy manager of the Energy Commission. So these four, we can say that from the agencies through the Energy Commission, DOE, DOSH, as well as the CIDB. So we have also from SEDA, Sustainable Energy Development Authority, talking or evaluating or producing the GCPV design, GCPV wireman, OGPV off-grid photovoltaic design. This is grid-connected photovoltaic designer, grid-connected photovoltaic wireman who do the wiring works. OG, off-grid photovoltaic designer, solar PV installer, another competent person from SEDA. We have also from SPAN, which is SPAN qualified person, which is SPAN QP. So now, if you can see this, all there is a similarity among them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 agencies now, not only CIDB. So it's not nothing odd over here. Basically, the functions, the agencies look into the importance to take care of their industries. So all of them is taking care on their own industry and their own people inside the industry. So their similarity is basically they are all coming with either acts or regulations. They must come with the source of power through the acts or regulation of CIDB, DOSH, DOE, Energy Commission, SEDA, and as well as SMART. And the differences is actually on the method of assessment. Energy Commission have their own method of assessment, SEDA has their own method of assessment, SPAN has their own method of assessment, DOE same thing, DOSH same thing, CIDB same thing. But I can say that CIDB has a little bit extra on the method of assessment when they put the things under their own qualification framework, which is the construction skill qualification framework, CSQF. Other than that, we don't have that. Other this, we don't have this at the moment. I'm not sure until when. But for DOSH, DOE, Energy Commission, SEDA, and SPAN, they don't have that kind of framework. Only CIDB has that framework. That's why CIDB certification comes with the level of competency. Level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and level 6. So this level, what is the relation with the current level that we can see from the JPK or whatnot. So basically, there is an explanation about that later. So in terms of cost, for example, SEDA have their own cost. SPAN, I don't think they have cost for now. It's just registering after you have certified with some minimum regulation or minimum qualifying criteria. Energy Commission comes with cost as well. There is a cost to be registered as all this. Either you go for full time or you go for part time. There is still cost incurred over there to you to get certified by the Energy Commission. DOE also comes with cost as well. The duration and the cost. DOSH also come. Of course, we know very well that certain health officer will be about 6,000 to 7,000 ringgit per session, about 20 days. Site safety supervisor is about 3,500 to 4,000 ringgit for about 10 days. So same goes to CIDB. There are program coming with cost. Minimum is about 300 ringgit. Go straight to the assessment method 3, 300 to 150, depend on the level. Go straight to the level method 3 assessment, get assessed by interview session. Once you pass the interview session, you actually pass to be registered under the CIDB construction personnel members. Or else you can go for another method, which is the training, or you can go for examinations. But all need a cost. I can say the minimum is actually 300 or 250. Straight away apply to CIDB and come for assessment through interview session. About 45 minutes to 1 hour interview session. So these all is actually the landscape of the competency training in Malaysia. From those agencies, there is many more. I can say from TM, the Telecom Malaysia also has their own thing. Maybe they have from MCMC as well. other agencies which are having their own regulatory body, or they have their own, standards, as well as the acts. They will also having the competent person through the acts. So this is basically, when we mention about competent, there must be an assessment. There must be an assessment. So there might be either you go for straight for assessment, or you go for the preparation, then you go for assessment. Either you go getting the things from formal or informal program, is doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, now after about 40 minutes, then only we start to talk about CIDB competency programs. So in CIDB, we have about four. I mean, this is just mentioned three programs that are related to the construction personnel. The first one will be the youth skill programs. These are simple of program: carpenting, tiling works, wiring, painter, and timber. And the training normally will be conducted by ABM. And the TVET level is about 1 to 3 NOS, from National Occupational Skill Standard. And the competency program, which is the thing that we are now having talk with, is actually on the CCPM, CCM, CSS for the categories, CTMO, FMM, as well as FME, conducted by the PLB, Penyedia Latihan Bergetahulah, just like Megajati. And we have level 4, level 5, NOS, and CICS, Construction Industry Competency Standard. Not only NOS, CIDB also work with their own CICS. Yeah? So NOS and CICS is actually the peer, partners. When we talk about delivering the standard quality of our competent person, what is the thing that describe them? So the description of competent person is really coming from NOS or CICS. Then we have contractor programs for CIDB, about 51 programs altogether. This is more to contractor to be registered under the related code bidang, code bidang, registered as a code bidang to enable them to carry out that work. For example, they want to do jambatan works, or bridges work. So they need to come for 5 days PLBK, Penyedia Latihan Bergetahulah Contractor training. And there is also an assessment at the end of the class. Once they have passed and assessed, then they are actually entitled to construct the bridge, for example. Same goes to marine, same goes to kerja tanah. There are 51 titles altogether for CIDB contractors to start with. If you want to build up, or to do the construction work activities, they need to have that code bidang in order to enable them come out with that activities. And this is just a CPD course, and as well as the course that will ask them to be, registered as a registered contractor to do the specified work. Another one is actually the normal training lah, normal training conducted by many. There is also universities conducted, Pusat Latihan Bertauliah, other individual also conducted. They can just claim, apply the CPD from the CIDB, and then they will conduct the normal program. So 4 types of programs been, as an CIDB's activities. We've got from youth skill program, competency program, contractor program, as well as normal CPD program. So here, competency program, we will talk more about this today in this session. Okay, Supervisory and Management Competency Division, located at level 35, World Trade Center, PWTC before, in KL. So this is their activities on the do the policy, SOP, rules and regulation for construction personnel, training provider, training and session accreditation, produce the standard modules and assessment scheme development, training and assessment, certification through skill competency kemahiran pembinaan SKKP level 3, 4, and 5 and 6, and recognized program. So they're also part of their CIDB work is to recognize the program also. So okay, competency level. We'll start at level 1 and 2 as a skill traits level. Listed in Schedule 3, about 25 programs altogether. We have program later in next stage, next slide. And from here, they will be awarded level 2 and level 1 only. Normally, it will be conducted by ABM. The second level, which is level 3, the next level, level 3, is a trade supervisor, where they can monitor the work among this. Right? In this list, actually, they have one trade supervisor to monitor the work. There will be another level 3 supervisor, trade supervisor, and they have pengkhususan or specialization derived from 4 main supervisors category: mechanical, electrical, CNS, and as well as the building and architecture. Then we start for supervisory level. We want to talk about this one today. Supervisory level, site supervisor, civil and structure, building architecture, mechanical work, also electrical work, facility management, executive, construction, traffic management, officer, CTMO. So we start level 4. Level 5 is actually the construction manager, civil risk construction manager, facility management manager, as well as project quality manager for level 5. And top manager is actually level 6, which is construction project manager, level 6. So these are the programs that actually related to the talk today. Okay, 25 skills traits listed in third schedule according to the X520. These are the skill traits registered in the third schedule of the Act. Okay, blaster, painter, roof truss installer, petrochemical fitter, bar bender, drywall installer, up to concreter here. So it's all 25 skills trade been identified by CIDB, need to be registered with the CIDB in order for them to deliver their work on site. Or these all 25 skill trades will be monitored by the next level, which is either trade supervisor level 3 or construction site supervisor level 4. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So these trades will be supervised by either level 3 trade supervisor or level 4 construction site supervisor CSS level 4. So these trades. So they actually looking into this kind of work. This kind of work. Okay. In CIDB, we have two main sectors. Construction sectors as well as the facility management sectors, FMM, FME on the facility management, CCPM, CCM, CSS, CTMO on the construction sector. About six, I mean not six, one, two, three, four, five, about six core program. If we put or we add on specialization, CSS, they have four other categories. CSS have other four categories. So altogether, we'll about nine altogether. Not six anymore, but it's okay. And that doesn't. Core program is six. Okay. So we have level 4 here, certified site supervisor, CTMO, as well as a civil construction manager. Later on, they will become CCM. CCM, we got three other specialization area, which is CCM, normal CCM, which is CNS, BNA, and also mechanical as well as electrical. So they go for project manager, CCPM later. Okay, this is for FME. FME, I need to skip there. Okay. Okay, this is the framework of the current program that identified in CIDB. The first of all, we have level 4, this is what we conducted, level 4 CSQF, Construction Skill Qualification Framework, level 5 as well as level 6, Certified Site Supervisor, CSS 4 categories, FME 1 category, of course, and also CTMOT, 3 programs at level 4, 2 programs at level 5, and 1 program at level 6. So Facility Management Manager, and as well as a certified construction manager CCM level 5. So then they can go for level 6, which is CCPM. Then how do the assessment been made? So outcome-based program. What is the outcome-based program? Outcome-based program is basically the program been derived or been prepared in terms of uh, competency standard. And how do the CIDB do the assessment based on the outcome that showed through either three methods. Methods 1 is on the class as well as the assessment. Method 2, 3 hours written examination. Method 3 is about 44 minutes, 45 minutes to 1 hour interview session. So they will snapshot the outcome that you have been experienced before through this outcome-based program process, expected attributes from all construction personnel. So this will be derived from acts and regulations, objective, mission, and vision of CIDB standard being CIDB, either NOS or CICS, as well as the modules being developed by CIDB. And program and learning outcome mapping, we have cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domain, PSA, or KSA, knowledge, skill, and as well as attitude. They've been put into the modules and also the curriculum so that we can see it very well. What is actually the expected knowledge that need to be get ready, prepared by the candidate. Then they will be assess you through the rubric system to attain the domain what kind of domain you have attained using the taxonomy bloom, all those five level of taxonomy or six level of taxonomy, which is memorizing, apply, design, and also create. So that four or five level of taxonomy or six level of taxonomy. Then modules, they have prepared modules for you, and as well as the program outcome. So they have the outcome to describe the character of the people or construction personnel that we want. So basically, these are the bubbles showing that these are the outcome-based process being derived, being practiced by the CIDB for the moment. I can say this is the some of the differences from the first slide that I mentioned. What is the similarity and differences? The previous slide between the programs of CIDB, DOE, DOSH, Energy Commission, ST, and SEDA. So this is one of it. How the program been characterized into the complete outcome-based process, so that we can have a specific attainment, specific measurement of the candidate that come into the assessment by CIDB. Okay, this is a flow. I want to make it very fast. We try to finish about 30 minutes from now. Training needs analysis TNA, then they go for competency standard and module curriculum assessment rubric. They go for method assessment at the method 1, method 2, or method 3. Then they can go through this outcome-based assessment through program outcome and rubric. They get certification, result through the transcript, competency level, they achieve level 4, 5, or 6. They go for accreditation and then publish their result. Means these are the process of getting the results. List of competent personnel, ATP, approved training provider. Right? So you can see the method 1 there, method 2 there, and method 3 there. This is actually derived or determined or actually described by this statement. Method 1 is the training and assessment. You need to go for the training and being assessed by all the questions coming from the modules. And then the method 2 is actually on the assessment only, sit for examination, about 3 hours written examination. Method 3 is recognition, prior learning experience, RPLE, or through an interview. So the interview will actually snapshot your knowledge based on the outcome-based assessment, then have been specified and characterized through the process of here into the form, the assessment form. From that form, the CIDB will assess you, they assess you, your knowledge, your skill, as well as the attitude on being assessed by the CIDB. Okay. These are the documents I mentioned. We have standard curriculum, module, rubric, as well as the borang-borang penilaian or the assessment form. So this, the standard and the complete paperwork being developed and maintained by CIDB in order to produce one single construction personnel that been accredited by the board through this system. Okay, we can go through a little bit faster over here. This is NOS. Meanwhile, I will share the slide as well, and also the video also will be shared through other platforms as well. So should be no worries that you can come and get back it later. Okay, the acronym on NOS, National Occupational Skills Standard, defined as a document that specifies the competencies expected of a skilled worker who is gainfully employed in Malaysia for occupational area and level on pathway to achieve the competency. They can climb up from level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5 in the NOS standard. So the same standard been adopted to CIDB and become their own standard, or they produce their own standard from the previous standard developed by JPK, which is CICS, the Construction Industry Competency Standard for construction personnel is developed to specify the minimum level of competencies for Malaysian construction industry. CSA defined as the specification of competency expected of construction personnel that have been employed by a construction project organization to effectively manage construction projects. So we actually, the CIDB do these things. Getting the spec or NOS or the occupational skill standard from the NOS, and then apply it into the construction industry, and end up they might produce another their own CICS, or they produce their own CICI by their own. They produce the CICI by their own, not using JPK NOS anymore. So because CIDB has that source of power to develop their own standard. So their standard names is actually CICS, Construction Industry Competency Standard, and the framework name is Construction Skill Qualification Framework, CSQF. So this is the document that actually specify and describe and also telling us what competency level that you are attaining due based on the level being described into that documentation. Hmm. So if you don't have this, we don't know you are at which level, you are at which standard. So once we have this standard, it can show us basically this is the level that you are expected to know, and you are expected to perform in the duties according to the level of work that have you been attained. Sample of CGL, or I mean certificate, CSCC, Construction Skill Competency Certificate, or CGL Competency Kemahiran Pembinaan. Level 4 is stated over there, issued by Cidb Malaysia. The name, the program over here, Construction Traffic Management Officer, level 4. And any transcript will also come with, all certificates of Cidb starting from June 2020 will also come out with this transcript. So we have this transcript keputusan from this fella. I don't mention his name. The score is over here, and the grade is here. The modules attained is stated here. This is how the competency spider web looks like. We have a baseline. We have his competency. We have baseline, and we have his competency to show it's actually what is actually expected from this candidate. So also we have mentioned about outcome as well. So program outcome being stated here. We got PO1 up till PO5 is describing our character. So PO is important to describe the character of the candidate. So are you fit to that character, or you need some, other little bit more time to polish up, or to attend that character. So the character also comes with um describing the character through PO. That PO also will be lead to the learning outcome that you should attain through your training program. Another certificate from this level 5, construction manager, CCM. We have more PO. Of course, you got just 5 POs over here. In here, we got 8 POs altogether. Below is actually indicating the competency level, indicating the competency level from the baseline as well as the construction attainment. How did he score from either three methods just now? Method 1, method 2, or method 3 is all will be described through this spider web, showing that our competency, show that our strength and weaknesses to attaining or obtaining through this system, through this assessment system. So that is how, and that is why I can say that CIDB program is a little bit advanced compared to other agencies that I mentioned just now. A little bit advanced because they can probe you in what area you are good, in what area, in which area you need to come and get a little bit more polish. Because CIDB allow also people come to get the assessment through limited 3, which is just an interview. So from the interview session, we can map these things up, and we can generate the spider web so that to tell you this is your competency level and how you want to do this. Okay. Method of accreditation, we try to go it a little bit fast over here. We got 3 methods altogether: method 1, method 2, and method 3. Training assessment, written examination, as well as the RPLE, recognition prior learning experience. So program organizers, CIDB state and so branches, minimum 45 minutes to 1 hour interview. Fee is about 300 ringgit. I can say about 250 to 300, depend on the program that you have enrolled. Let me make a correction over here. RM, sorry, R, RM 250 to 300. Depend on number of applicants. Is depending. For organizer, program organizer, CLB said 3 times written assessment, 4 times a year, about 3 to 7 days. Cost, exam fee 300, class by PLB. So this class will be conducted by penyedia latihan pertolongan, not conducted by CIDB. And also we got method 1, okay, here. Method 1, through the accredited in the training provider, PLB, modular courses. So this is a modular course. So you need to pass module by module. You need to be taught module by module. You need to take the assessment module by module. You need to pass module by module. So it's between 4,500 to 7,500, depend on the numbers of days. 12 days, 20 days, as well as the 24 days. So this is the things that we need to understand, that there are three methods of assessment or three methods of accreditation conducted by Cidb. You can go for the cheapest one and just pay for the examination fee or interview fee. That's it. Pay direct to Cidb. Or you want to go for the moderate one where you have also a preparation. You get prepared to answer the examination question. About 300 exam fee, as well as the 1,550 to 250 at the moment by PLB to get some preparatory class to join for the assessment later. Or you can go for full class. Full class. Preparatory class is basically the crash course. Means that everything in this 12 days, 20 days, 25 days, we put together in about 7 days only. 7 days only is a crash course. This will be conducted by PLB, not CIDB. Not CIDB. Conducted by PLB. You can get it from the website. You can Google basically. And then program organizer PLB, talking about the modular courses, full courses, modular assessment, you can take one by one or you can take all. In short, all together. I want to take all 8 modules together. Or you want to take, I just want to take 5 modules or 1 module. I will go for slowly getting one by one until 5 years, for example. Then you come back and claim back to the certificate that you have all modules from the uh, method 1 assessment. So these are the 3 methods that currently in place for CIDB to be conducted, to be chosen by all of the engineering or the construction personnel. Okay, the complexity. This I mentioned just now about this taxonomy from understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and also create. So the words there will show you about the complexity of the of the knowledge that you need to attain. If the examiner asking you about explain, integrate, resolve, figure, scrutinize is something that more at high level thinking that you need to be there to master about that. Or it's just a memorizing standard on the understanding the method, then you can answer. It's depend on the content. Okay, the criteria of pass. The criteria of pass or the criteria of get competent, we got 3 steps. 3 steps, but we consider 2 steps at the moment. 2 steps at the moment. For step 1, to get competent, average total result must be more than 70. This is overall result over here, must be 70. And step 2, to get computer result, PO must be 50 and above. All POs must be 50 and above. Right? So you can see this result before. All above 50, and the total mark is more than 70 is considered pass. Okay, people keep asking me actually what the rate of passing or passing rate. Passing rate, I can say if you come from the specific background, I mean the good background, I mean you come and try as your good background, you are from a construction industry, you work with the construction team from A to Z, you've been there for maybe 3 or 4 cycles of projects. Basically, with that kind of background, the passing rate, I can say maybe more than about 70%. About 70% you can pass. Because to reach about 70 marks over here is quite challenging. To reach about 70 marks and above, that's quite challenging. But if you come from non-background, it's a little bit difficult. I can say the passing rate for the non-background. Non-background sometimes they are a supplier. They are non-project construction project management personnel. Actually, they supply. Actually, for example, they supply the pump, they supply the aircon, but they don't participate with the construction. So with that kind of background, I can say the passing rate is quite low, about 40%. So about 40 to 70% of passing rate. Some of the cases when we put, I mean, the preparation as well as the classroom, full class, the passing rate will be more, is a little bit higher, more than 90 sometimes, because there is a classroom there to tell you what to learn, how to learn, what is the best thing to answer this, what is the best answer to correct this. This will be prepared for you. And also, when you come for class, I mean for class, I mean this one If you come for class one by one, module by module, assessment by assessment, you are definitely can pass all assessment because you come for class and get assessed. Come, then you can forget the first module. Go for second module, come to class and assess. You can forget for the second module. You come to the class and assess. You can forget for the third module, and then go up to the final modules. Basically, it's more easier to pass, but it comes with a higher cost lah. Of course, about 4,500 to 7,500, and this one is just about 250 ringgit to 300 ringgit. This one is 4,500 ringgit to 7,500 ringgit. Huh? And you can come to the moderate fee. It's about 1,500 to 2,500 conducted by PLB, not by Cidb. Okay. So to get past, you get more than 70% over here as a total results and 50% over here as an average results, average PO. So that PO comes with a module that have been assessed through the assessment. We snapshot to you, tap, and then put into the marks. Then you're getting the marks right after the assessment. Everything is now being computerized. Everything now is put into our system so that system can actually catch up very fast in order for you to I mean to finalize you either competent or not yet competent. Okay, not yet competent means say there are something that you need to polish up. You need to polish up, and then you can come again to get another assessment, in order for you to get passing results or competent results. Okay. Okay, I want to touch a little bit on here. For example, we can see from this modules name, construction site supervisor, we got 8 modules, module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5, module 6, module 7, module 8. And construction manager, we have about 17 modules. And CCPM, we got about 16 modules altogether, now become 17. So there is something that showing us the job responsibility in order for us to understand our job function on site. And this is a comparison table for just for illustration. What is the CSS job function? The I mean the important the responsibility factors of this CSS CCPM as well as a CCM. Okay, the lesser one means the less responsible. Business continuity, for example, sustainability and entrepreneurship. Of course, CSS we won't look into this so much. The person who need to look into this is actually the CCPM, because they need to ensure the business continuity after the completion of the work, for example. So, site team, workers control, subcontractors and supplier, for example. Site team, the concession, the CSS will look into it a little bit more, about 35%. This construction manager will look into a little bit more, but the CCPM will look into a little bit lesser. They will look lesser because this is not their main job function to organize the site team, workers control, subcontractor and supplier, especially on the CCM and CSS. So this is how we read the chart lah. Okay. Okay. How do we prepare for the world of work? Okay, we know that Tibet Pembinaan is actually, or construction Tibet is actually the main stakeholders or the main operator is the CIDB Malaysia under the CSQF. Lancar Tibet Pembinaan, belia lancar industri pembinaan. Industri pembinaan, CIDB lancar Tibet Pembinaan, gesa belia sertai industri pembinaan. Because industri pembinaan, not only you can get the skill over there, you can also get the certification through the process of accreditation. So you'll be assessed by level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the CIDB. Equivalency to the Malaysian Qualification Framework. We can see here. Level 1, 2, 3 is equivalent to the certificate. Level 4 is equivalent to diploma. Level 5 equivalent to advanced diploma. And level 6 is equivalent to bachelor degree of under this MQA Qualification Framework. Malaysia Qualification Agency, Malaysian Qualification Framework. So now, for TVET, we have level 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So this is the things that mentioned here in this newspaper snapshot, telling us that the belia or the youth come and join the construction industry. Even though you join without any experience, once you start to build up your knowledge in the construction industry, then you can get your certification. Starting from level 1, level 2, level 3, now you get your certificate. and then you start at level 4, you get your diploma, you go for level 5, you got your advanced diploma, and you go for level 6 to get your bachelor degree. So this is actually happening now in the market, so that people, there's an alternative. Either they want to go for normal education, they got start from diploma, certificate, diploma, advanced diploma, degree, bachelor, master, PhD, or they go for this level 4, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6 of Cidb. So it also can be done as an alternative for the education process that we have currently now in Malaysia. So after SPM, basically we can go for SKM, Sijil Kemahiran Malaysia, level 1 to 3, SKM level 4, SKM level 5, SKM level 6, or next level 7 and 8. What is actually happening there? Are we going to have our level 7 and 8? From this illustration, we don't have level 7 and 8 and also 6 at the moment from JPK, but we have now in Cidb level 6. For level 7 and 8, basically, we need to go for another process, which is the updated of this NASDA Act 2006, which is currently in process. So when they put this acts in Parliament to be endorsed by the Parliament, the next level of competency program through this CSQF level 5, 6, they can extend to level 7 and 8 by Cidb themselves, along with their competency program from, Cidb CSQF. So here we can see that Ijazah Sarjana Muda Kemahiran, which is Bachelor Kemahiran or Bachelor Skills, will be introduced by the government through NASDA Act, or they also introduce the Sarjana Kemahiran Master Skills from the NASDA Act, National Skill Development Act 2006, and also Ijazah Kedokteran Kemahiran Malaysia ataupun PhD Skills also will be introduced by Cidb, by NASDA, and then Cidb is also can open up their level from level up to level 6 now to add on level 7, level 8 in future. That is why I keep telling myself and keep telling everyone that listen to the talk today, try to equip ourselves a little bit early, up to level 6. We just wait until level 7 and 8 later in future, so that we can get that level 7 and 8 very soon after the act been adjusted or been revised by the Parliament. Okay. Then program internationalization by Cidb Malaysia. Okay, we understand that the source of power of Cidb coming from the Act 520 Cidb, Section 33, 33A, and also 33B. From this skill qualification framework, CSQF, basically been following the National Qualification Framework as well as the Malaysian Qualification Framework, and we are also following the TVET qualification by UNESCO Univoc in German. So there is the understanding factors of delivering the works into the internationalization process from Malaysia program. So this is actually being conducted by universities in Malaysia as well. So these are the qualification framework documentation, construction skill qualification framework, SQF, training program accreditation, institutional compliance audit, as well as construction personnel accreditation by Cidb Malaysia. So these are the CSQF document as a manual of being accreditation process from Cidb Malaysia. And we can see that TVET country profiles here in Malaysia. One of the countries that have been recognized through the UNESCO Univoc or been registered through the UNESCO Univoc, submitting their documentation to be part of the TVET country profile registry under the UNESCO Univoc from the base in Germany. So this is the thing that we need to see in future, where you can see from here actually the slide is over here. We have the source over here. You can see from here. So this is maybe they will be the next level or the future of the program of Cidb program. So see, they have part the program into level 4, 5, 6. As example, this one 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 been recognized by Malaysian government through the NASDA Act. Now what else actually is also recognized worldwide through the TVET UNESCO qualification Univoc. So from this company profile, corporate or country profile, we can see that other countries also submitting the same thing. They are also competing with the same things, so that we can have a good, understanding on the total framework at the world level. For example, why we should have this? For example, if we are the producer of the skilled workers, let's say our skilled workers is producing or constructing or delivering a table. So they actually a table carpenter. They do carpenting works, create or develop a working desk, for example. So by knowing that they have some, qualification criteria, as well the TVET level, we understand. We are surely understand. If they come to Malaysia or we are going there and we bring out our certificate, let's say our certificate, certified construction project manager, certified construction site supervisor level 4. In their understanding, they know what is the capability of level 4 holders, level 4 TVET certificate holders. What is the capability of level 4 certificate holders based on this PO, based on the outcome. The program outcome is actually describing you on the character or the knowledge that you should attain. So when you bring this level 4 or level 5 as example to other countries, they can say you are actually supposed to able to do this, supposed able to do this, supposed able to do this. That is actually the idea. The whole framework, when tells about the internationalization of program, we are actually exporting our experts to the countries, Malaysia as well as the international. So that is the framework. We can understand their skills by looking at their competency level. Level 4, you should be able to do this. Level 5, you should be able to do this. Level 6, you should be able to do this. So that is actually the idea. So if we have that, if we have that in mind, we can understand that now we are at level 4. This is what we can do. We are same goes to the people coming into Malaysia. We can understand they actually can do things based on level 4 credentials. They can do things based on level 5 credentials. So that kind of work, that kind of framework that you need to understand. So that is why the program being developed by Cidb is very, very important for the local market as well as the international market, and is very standard program being mapped and developed through the very serious, um, you know comprehensive attainment. They look into all angles just to produce a competent person, either through method 1, method 2, or method 3. So basically this is about the internationalization of the program, where we can see that in future people will have this TVET program as a construction as an alternative, not second choice anymore. It become an alternative. Either you go for mainstream, you go for program, you go for educational MQA, or you can go for this kind of alternative program from CSQF through the framework, through the skill framework. Even you also been introduced to something that is more, internationalized, so that you can go also to work in overseas based on the qualification that you get from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in Malaysia through this qualification framework. So basically, that is the whole idea. Benefits of being competent. We close our session with this. Basically, the first, of course, we will qualify, or we will be comply with the Act 520 and regulations regarding the enforcement, regarding the importance, regarding the things that be specified into in the act. That's what we were mentioned just now. The definition of construction work, the definitions of construction personnel, definition of site supervisor, definition of construction project manager, and what is the fine will be imposed for them who are actually claiming they are doing the site supervision work without being accredited by CIDB. So now to comply the regulations. So basically that is the important thing, where we want to comply the regulations. Second thing is to industry recognition, where people in the industry looking into this as part of your added value. Even though you have your degree, engineering degree, for example, but you have CCPM as a fundamental recognized program that ensure you are the qualified construction project manager. So it's actually a recognition from industry. And I can hear that also there is also a client now. I mean JKR Sarawak, one of them now specify they are required certified construction project manager to manage the project in Sarawak, in their state, for example. Another client I have here from MMC as well, telling the same thing. They specify the numbers. They specify the character of the program. They want a construction certified construction site supervisor to be a site supervisor on site. So industry now start to recognize the program, start to recognize the personnel holding the certificate. So basically, this is the time, the very, very right time for everybody to get the certificate soon possible. Huh? Recognition. It's a recognition. It's okay if you can have a bachelor diploma, bachelor degree, or master, or even PhD in our mainstream. It's okay. I have also a PhD in building. But the thing is, to top up with something that industrial recognized is something is more added value to my own credentials in meeting other expectation from the clients. So industry recognitions is very, very important in this case, so we can comply to that once we have this certified competency certificate from the CIDB Malaysia. Employment recognition, of course, from there, basically we can go up to the management telling us that we have our own certificate now from level 4, level 5, level 6, and so recognized by the client, recognized by the, just now I'm saying about JKR Sarawak also mentioning that in their scope, I mean in their contract, they want a certified construction personnel from CIDB, either CSS, CCTMO, CCPM, CCM, FMM, or FME. So all these 6 programs being recognized by the employer, so that they can get I mean the tested products from the market. Of course, we can say that after working in the construction industry for 20 years, I can say I am working in the construction industry for 20 years. Yes, of course. Have you get recognized by anyone? Can you get the recognition from CIDB, for example, as the minimum requirement, so that I can assure that, oh, you are actually being trained, access to all the, I mean, the spectrum of knowledge that being expected from this program. So another things that you need to ponder, to think that this is something that can show us straight away that, okay, I have this CIDB CSS, I can level 4, I can work within that. I can work with that recognition. It's also cultivate to cultivate the best practices. Of course, if you can have a good, I mean, the construction personnel go through the kind of simple process, standard process, they spell out your character very well, you can understand your function very well on site. Basically, you are actually now start to cultivating the best practices on site. Of course, we got lot of school of thoughts when talk about project management, construction project management, a lot of school of thought telling about the same thing, but this one is different because we can get it from CIDB straight away to our local function, straight away to our local criteria, straight away to our local recognition. So we actually now becoming a local recognized body through CIDB. Now the good practice can be cultivated among the players, among the certificate holders, because we go through the same process. CCPM goes through the same process. CCM go through the same process. CSS, CTMO, FMM, we go through the same process, meaning to say that you have the same language. Once we have the same language, the cultivating of the best practices, especially in the construction works, will be very, very attainable at that point of time. So best practices is cultivated through this process. We go into the potential knowledge, experience based, performance criteria, go for competency, knowledge you have been developed, the ethics will be imposed, vision of the very clear. I mean, to become the site management team very clear, then you continuously develop the knowledge and also the skills, then you can go for the best practices. Hopefully you can get a best practice practitioner in construction in future through this program. Professional status title, you can see from the board of, I mean, Malaysian Board of Technologies, M board. Now criteria is describing certificate holder of level 6 can become TS, professional technologies. You can go and check M board website. Level 6 is equivalent to CCPM CIDB. So indirectly, CIDB, CCPM can become the technologies, professional technologies, carry the title TS in future. So this is things that you need to capture. Some of us, they don't have any chance to get the degree from I mean the normal education process, because there's some educational history who declined them to become one of the certificate holder. But in this case, CIDB case, we don't mention that whatever that your competency you attain from site, as long as you can get um, to prove that you are eligible, you are competent to perform your duties, you can get level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from CIDB straight away. Basically, this is the function as an alternative from the mainstream, so that we can have the program along the program. You can go for work for after your SPM, you can go straight for work. After some experience, you come back to get your level 4 at least. Then you climb up to level 5. Then you climb up to level 6. From that level 6, you are eligible to register with the Malaysian Board of Technologies as a professional or graduate technologist. Then you become the TS or technologist in future. So that is the things that now available from the program for you to obtain it soon as possible. Contribute back to once you have been all this, basically what else you want to do is to go back to the community and go back to industry and ask them to go for this, because this is our contribution. As a construction personnel, I've been in construction line for about 21 years. So from there, basically, I know that now it is time for me to go back to the industry to tell that people who come with a educational background, they can become IR, they can become TS and forever. But for those who are not coming from that background, for example, people coming from skill training institute, IKBN, ILP, IKM, KKTM, EdTech, and all those, including Giatmara, ABM, college community, polytechnic, and all. We have about 1,592 TVET institution in Malaysia, which this institute is producing the skilled personnel, blue collar, through level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from JPK, and we can have them in our framework to have level 6 through CCPM. If they are working with the construction industry, then we can go for the TS or professional technologies. In future, they can go back to the industry to make a betterment of the whole industry. So there is the whole cycle of having um, registered personnel, not only to work on site, but you need also to contribute in the way that you can contribute. For myself, for example, I'm not working on site anymore, but I can say that we are still working to train the site people. We are still working to design the site works. I'm a consultant by profession as well. So basically, that is the contribution that I can go. But even though I'm not going to site anymore to become the full-time site workers or full-time agent there, because the experience I've got about past years is actually now bring me up to this position right now, to tell anybody that come and get this certification, because this is things that you need. You are definitely need this kind of qualification in terms to get more. I mean, future prospect in future. If you got this level 4, 5, 6 from CIDB, basically you get a diploma bachelor equivalent according to the Malaysian Qualification Framework. So there is things that you need to capture at the moment. Cultivate self-regulatory practice. So we understand that self-regulatory is depend on the how you behave when other people don't see you. So that is essentially the self-regulatory practice. You don't throw rubbish, or you don't throw anything that yeah, of course. If people don't see, if people see, you don't throw. But people don't. There's no people there, you can do whatever that you want. So it is driven to cultivate the self-regulatory practices, is to give you an awareness that you are the professional in the service. You are professional members, professional construction members in servicing the construction project supervision or construction project management, and we want you to have a self-regulatory practices enable. You enable to these self-regulatory practices. Once you enable to self-regulatory practices, we don't have to worry about your attitude. Either we are there or we are not there. Because you are self-regulatory, you're self-regulated. You know what you should do, you know what is right, what is wrong, what you can do, what you cannot do. So basically, there is the things that we want to to cultivate among the construction personnel so that we can have a good teamwork. People can rely on each others. That's why from the beginning we've mentioned about contractor, consultant, scope of work. We have different scope of work, same mission, same vision, same goals. So basically, that is the thing that we want to introduce to our next generation construction personnel through this accreditation and personnel process. Get ready for a global mobility and interconnectedness. That what I mentioned just now, where this program, even though it's locally designed, is basically ready to be exported through UNESCO Univoc program, where you can go to export yourself as a construction workers in other countries. Maybe you can get better offer there, for example, in Middle East, Dubai, Qatar, all those kind of countries. Even you can go closer to Australia, for example, or maybe in Brunei, or maybe in Singapore. So things that you are ready for global interconnectedness by having that kind of certificate coming from Malaysia, accredited by Malaysian government, recognized by the Malaysian government through their own certificate framework process. And now what else you need to wait? This is basically the things that you need to grab it on while it been now been I mean they've been promoted through many agencies. Okay, we are talking about this Grady global mobility and interconnectedness. Myself as a PLB, penyedia latihan bertauliah, certified training provider. We have also claimed, we have also prepared the thing to be carried out straight away to the United Kingdom through this OTHM qualification under the European Qualification Framework Level 7. So the program now also been recognized to be at level 7 of European Qualification Framework. I can say that we are a little bit more rather than other, I mean, the agencies that I mentioned before. The Cidb program is a little bit higher in that sense, where we can get also our own certificate from this OTHM qualification, United Kingdom, and that program is actually recognized under the European Qualification Framework. You can see from here, European, where is my cursor? Yeah, European Qualification Framework, EQF level 7. So we get it ready. We get it ready so that people can come and get the qualification straight away from this qualification framework, and then get ready for your global mobility, global import export of your skill expertise, how you want to perform in other countries is all here. We can derive it from here. And also for construction, this is for facilities management, this is for construction. We got two from OTHM qualification United Kingdom, and both is actually recognized through the European Qualification Framework, EQF. So more information, you can contact me. There's my numbers over there, and so my email over there. But straight away, you can go and call me or WhatsApp me so that we can have further discussion. And I hope that everything is clear for you for this session. About 2 hours, I can see about 2 hours altogether, close to maybe one hour and 40 minutes. Hopefully we can have sessions in future to specify more. Whatever that you need, you can just Google. I think in our website Megati Academy, we have put all those things that required for you to read, and then how you want to get yourself accredited through this program. So Hari Profession Technical Negara is an important thing for us as a technical person of construction, especially not with this kind of process or program. Hopefully, we can have a good team mates in our industry. We all love our industry. We feel belongings to the industries. So try to get cultivated through the good, I mean, framework, being assessed through the qualification framework, and then get yourself assessed, uh, accredited, if you need this kind of qualification in future for your, for example, career advancement, career enhancement, you want to apply for the other job, for example. This is all things that you need, that we need to get it ready. Thank you for Hari, Profession Technical Negara's Secretariat. Thank you for the organizer for inviting me for this session. I really hope that the session overall will be benefit for all of us in this session, and I'll hopefully we can have another session to scrutinize the process and get back to you all over again in future. Thank you again for Hari Profession Technical Negara inviting me for this session today, and hopefully there will be good session for everyone and having uh, great, nice day ahead in future. Thank you very much, and see you again soon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening.